So welcome everybody to the CheckDEC app launch meeting. This meeting is going to be approximately 1 hour long, and we are very excited to share a lot of information in that 1 hour. If for some reason you have a question, whether it's during the meeting or after, please feel free to email your questions to us at info@nationaldec.org. Again, that's info@nationaldec.org. If you can just take a quick second as we get started to enter into the chat box your name, your discipline, and your state that you're representing today on the call. And then if you want to enter your email, that is fine as well. So just some objectives that we want to share with you. We really hope at the end of this, you have a really good understanding of why we actually developed this particular app. And then we also want you to observe the features. So we're going to show you lots of pictures because it's super exciting for us to show you what that has been developed. And then also how the app can be used. And then also understanding ways to market the app to help not only yourselves, but also the children and families you work with in communities. So we have a lot of really great speakers today. My name is Stacy Reed. I'm with National DEC and I'll be your host today. Other National DEC staff that will be speaking today are Scott Henderson, Eric Nation, and Marty Washington. And then we have some really great partners, Susan Reitz from Clear Focus Media, Jay Stulo from Fox Valley Technical College, and Kim Beekle also from Fox Valley Technical College. Each one of us will provide you a different piece of information. So the why. So why did we develop this app? Why did we come up with it? Why did we do this? And this has been a process over probably the last 5 years of us thinking and having conversation about this. We had received lots of requests from our network for different ways to identify resources at a variety of different levels. Anytime that we were working with a professional in a community providing training or technical assistance, they were asking for simple ways to access local and national resources as well. And then we as National DEC staff, we're always thinking about different ways that people can easily connect to other people, but also connect to resources and information. And then the question that we always got was, why didn't National DEC ever have an app yet? Like, why aren't you doing this yet? And so the more conversations that we had with people, the more we realized that this is possible. And then we got great partners on board and really started to have formalized conversation around it. And we realized what we could do with an app and what we wanted to do with an app. And the big reasons were just what you see on the screen. We wanted people to have easy access to resources within their community and information easily available and accessible in the palm of their hand. So the what actually did we develop? So our mobile app is called CheckDEC, and it's provided for free by the National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children, or National DEC, and it was actually through an Office for Victims of Crime grant. We developed it for 3 different audiences, including those personally impacted and in crisis, and then children and families, and then professionals. We really wanted it to be broad, and you'll notice when we start talking about the features of the app, what each one of these categories has to offer. We also developed the app to put local resources, services, and support in the palm of the user's hand. So we know that the majority of people in our society have a cell phone. They have apps that they download. We're on them every day. We really wanted to make it that user friendly. So it was literally right there in front of them all the time. So they didn't have to be in an office to access it. They could be out on the road. They could be in somebody's house. They could be at the office themselves. They could be anywhere. And then we really wanted to also not only provide the resources, services, and support, but we wanted to provide them information as well. That was another request of our network, including one-pagers, pamphlets, data, research, and so on. So those are also easily accessible within the app. So Scott, can you talk about the OVC grant?
Sure. I mean, we touched on it earlier that the CheckDEC mobile application was made possible through a grant from the Office of Victims of Crime, or OVC. It's one of 6 program offices within the Office of Justice Programs within the U.S. Department of Justice. OVC funds a broad range of program services, training, technical assistance, and other capacity building programs designed to enhance services for victims and communities throughout the United States. We're incredibly grateful for the collaboration and support from Director Christina Rose, from Supervisor Jasmine Diadario-Fobian, and especially from our grant manager, Kareem Islar Mathis. And Kareem is on the call today with us. So Kareem, again, thank you for all your help and support throughout the process of developing this grant. One of our goals was to touch communities and families throughout the United States, and this is a piece of how we're doing that. So again, thank you so much for your support within OVC, and Kareem, thanks for your collaboration and work throughout the life cycle of this grant. The development of the grant, the CheckDEC mobile application, will continue through September of 2022, so we're not done yet.
Perfect. And Eric is now going to talk about our partners, which have been awesome on this project.
Excellent. Thank you, Stacy. I just want to take a few moments to, like Scott said, thank OVC for the opportunity to develop this app. It's been a great opportunity and so far a success for the National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children. But we couldn't have done so without some amazing partners. We are partnered with the Fox Valley Technical College, the Learning Innovation Center, which has been partners of ours in the past and have continued to be excellent partners moving forward as well. You will see some videos later on in this presentation that were done by a fabulous organization called Big Ocean Media Group. Very, very good at what they do and have really brought a lot of the stories that we as a team wanted to tell into a video and do a great job of painting that. And then again, we're very honored to work with Clear Focus Media and Sue Reitz. We've worked with Clear Focus on another grant and have been extremely, extremely honored to have their expertise on this grant as well. And Milani Consulting has been subcontracted with Clear Focus to help Clear Focus on some other of the details, and we're grateful to have them. And then we also partnered with 3 distinct communities to get us started here originally on the original grant. And that was Bristol County, Massachusetts, their Child Advocacy Center, who have been ongoing partners of ours for several years, along with the Confederated Salish Kootenai tribe based in Montana, which we have been partners with in the past on other grants through BJA and other organizations. And then last but not least, Polson, Montana Police Department, and their supervisor, George Simpson, have been wonderful partners in the testing and the revisions and the implementation of the app. So we just want to shout out to all of them. You've all been wonderful partners, and none of this would have been possible without you.
I think our partners have made this app fantastic. So thank you to all of the partners. Sue, one of our partners, do you want to talk about the survey?
I would love to. Thanks, Stacy. Again, this app was important to so many people. So from the beginning, we knew it was really important for it to address the needs of children, families, and the professionals who work with them. So we spent a significant amount of time up front to craft multiple choice and open-ended questions that gave respondents the opportunity to share their ideas, insights, and suggestions for the type of content to include in the app. We had 1,123 responses to the survey, and we're going to show you some of those key takeaways. Carrie Jensen, who works with the National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children, put together a wonderful infographic. But these survey results, along with ongoing input from the group of dedicated professionals who are acting as reviewers, have shaped the development of the app and continue to shape it. So if we could show a little bit of that infographic on the next slide. Thank you. So we, as I said, sent surveys out to professionals who work in the field, overlapping with drug endangered children. And we received 633 responses from them. We, in the infographic, we just show a little bit about what professions are represented in the responses, the ways that people prefer to get information in an app. So articles, videos, infographics, and podcasts were really important to them. So we're including a mix of those types of media within the app. And then to the right on your screen, we have a list of the specific types of information that people were hoping to see in the app. And I think we've captured most, if not all of those already in the app. And we're, as Scott said, continuing to add to it. We also, if you could go to the next slide, Eric, we received a number of responses from youth as well. And those surveys were distributed through schools and other programs that work with kids. So you can see a significant number of them have used illegal substances themselves, or somebody they know has, misused legal or illegal substances, or are concerned about a relative who's dealing with those issues. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that the areas they ranked highest as wanting help with were support at home, help with healthcare, probably accessing that, accessing mental health services, help at school, and then community connections, which could be after school programs, mentoring, that sort of thing. Stacy, is there anything that you wanted to cover in addition?
So Sue, I can cover this slide.
Sure.
I think the one thing that came out of the survey that I really loved and I thought really was helpful was the stuff on the slide that you see right now, what youth are actually saying. So we actually provided an opportunity in the survey that they could write something. And these are just a couple of the writing pieces. And I'll just pick out a couple of them. I have seen a family member die from substance misuse and use of that substance. I would never want to see anyone else go through that. And then another person said, my mom used to do drugs and I understand what it's like. And then the last one said, I used to live with someone who drank a lot and I had to find help for me and my brothers, but they got better now. So I think one of the things that we were looking at is A, are we on the right track? And B, is this going to be useful? And all of the surveys, whether they were the adult surveys or the youth surveys, it really showed us that, yes, this is what's needed and we're on the right track and doing the right thing and moving this forward. And so these surveys were really beneficial in guiding our project. We took a lot of what was used and asked and answered in the survey and built upon that. And I think that's really important. It wasn't just National DEC staff and their partners saying, okay, this is what I think people need. We actually asked people and got a great response. And I think that's probably my biggest takeaway, or the team's biggest takeaway too, that this wasn't guided by us. It was guided by you all and by other folks. And we're still in contact with folks that wanted to continue contact and continue working with us. So some of the survey providers or people who took participants, I guess I could say, still want to be involved in the project. So that was awesome. Perfect. So we are now going to hear from Marty on the review process and what that looked like.
Thanks, Stacy. In order to bring this app to fruition, there was a lot of testing and there was a lot of review behind the scenes by many, many dedicated individuals. Eric talked about 3 different communities in particular that were involved in the initial testing of the app, and we conducted focus groups with them, and they did some testing, and that was the initial part of the testing of the app. Then it was followed by the survey that Sue was just talking about, and Stacy was telling you what the youth had said. And that was the second piece. These happened before the app was released, and they informed what the app would look like. Then the app was released, and now we're in the third phase of the review. In this third phase, we have reviewers from 6 different states, coast to coast, everywhere in between, and there's over 50 of them. And they meet monthly to give us feedback. They fill out surveys and they email feedback on the user experience and the app content. We made sure that these reviewers came from different disciplines because we wanted different perspectives when the people were looking at the app. And so some of the disciplines that the reviewers represent are their DEC leaders, the medical community, public health, prevention, the community, law enforcement, probation, child welfare, and child advocacy centers. So based on the feedback we've received, improvements were made on the app. And what I'd like to do is just highlight a few of them here. Access to the newsfeed. The newsfeed button was made more prominent, so it would be to promote its visibility and make it easier to access. The resource details that you see when you hover over a pin, when you look at a map, we expanded the amount of information a user would see. Now it includes the website, their phone number, hours of operation. All of this feedback came from the reviewers. Resources are now available in list form. There's 2 different ways you can get your resources, either from the map and hovering over the pin, if you're more interested in exactly where the location is, or in a list form if you're kind of looking at what different options are there. App promotional ideas were collected from the reviewers, and Stacy's going to get into more detail in a few moments on that. We got lots of information on how to promote this app. And we also were able to improve upon the real life journeys tab, including what to call this tab, so people would know what to expect when they opened up the tab and what the content should look like. I can't say enough how grateful we are to all the reviewers for everything they did. And this is going to be ongoing. We're never going to stop reviewing the app because it's important to always make it as user-friendly as possible. Back to you, Stacy.
Perfect. That's awesome. So we're going to move into the really fun part in my mind, and that's going to be Fox Valley's folks, Jay and Kim, talking about and showing you the app.
All right. Thanks, Stacy. My name is Kim. I'm so glad to be here. I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit of who we are and a little bit of a high overview of the app. So let's get started. So just a little bit about the Learning Innovations Group. We're a group with inside of our technical college in Appleton, Wisconsin. We partnered with National DEC in 2018. And with that, a little bit about, I think the partnership has been really nice because with Stacy and Eric and National DEC's help, we are a team of professionals, and we rely on we have software engineers, multimedia developers, and designers. And we've been at this training and technology thing for over 20 years. So we have we work with a lot of different organizations around the country. One of the things that I wanted to highlight though about our group is just that not only do we do app development, we also do e-learning videos. We are involved in virtual reality and many, many more types of training solutions. And Fox Valley Technical College, if you're not familiar, we are also associated with the National Criminal Justice Training Center and also the Amber Alert Program, and we help assist them with their training needs as well. So a little bit about us and who we are. In 2018 and 2019, when we partnered with National DEC, we also partnered with Clear Focus Media to create a series of self-paced modules, e-learning modules that were funded by the COPS office, and they're hosted currently on their training portal. And this project was a key part of extending National DEC's training reach across the country. The trainings, if you haven't had a chance to take them, covers topics including an overview of the DEC approach, and you can see them here on the graphic, prenatal substance abuse, postnatal risks, and then a final module about how you can impact the outcomes of drug endangered children. And this was a very important project for all of us, and it really set the foundation for where we're at with our app today, and why we were able to help with that. So this project was extremely invaluable to the team, as it aligns with many other types of training created for professionals such as yourself. And so going forward, and getting into the fun part, what you see here is a screenshot of the app's homepage. And as Stacy mentioned previously, the purpose of the app is to enhance National DEC's content offerings, outreach to improve access, response, and services for drug endangered children. And so the exciting part is that this is designed for two types of cell phone or mobile devices, Apple and Android devices. And we targeted three key audiences, those in crisis, children and families and extended family members, as well as as professionals. And so when you get into the app, and we'll show you a little bit, you can easily choose what you're interested in based on what you're looking for, and you can quickly get to valuable resources. So if you're interested, you can download the app right from the App Store. Now, there's one other part that that hasn't been mentioned, and that is CheckDEC.org. So CheckDEC.org is a website that was created in companion with the app. And what it is if you don't have a cell phone, or perhaps you prefer to use a desktop or a laptop computer or even a tablet, you can go to CheckDEC.org and you can get the same information as on the app. So it mirrors the app in terms of content and what you can access. And then we also offer the content in both the app and on CheckDEC in English and in Spanish. So there's two different languages that are supported there. And that's a little bit about the overview of the app. I'm going to turn it over to Jay, and he is going to share a lot of other fun and exciting features that our team built into the app for National DEC.
Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to talk a little bit about what we have available in the app today. Just to add a little bit of clarity around some of the things that Marty talked about regarding the feedback from the reviewers and the adjustments that have been made. Some of those adjustments are not currently available in the version that's live in the app stores right now, but the next version, which is coming very, very soon, is actually being tested right now, has some of those items. So really the way we decided would be a great approach for this is to create not only an app, but there's a back-end system that allows the folks at National DEC to really curate the content and the resources that are available in the app. So those are all managed in the cloud. So the good news behind that is National DEC can add new resources, new content to the app, and it will show up automatically without the need for anybody to go and get an update to the app. So new content will be added, and the app itself will evolve based on the needs that come up in the future. So the content is categorized into categories and another level of subcategories, and those are curated uniquely for the audience. So the categories that you would see for professionals or individuals in crisis or families may be different categories. There may be some overlap. But that really allows for getting, resources that are uniquely helpful to those groups into the app. If you would like to go ahead and move to the next slide. Thank you. So those categories, really allow us to make that content easy to find. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't bury things into too many levels. So there's really categories and subcategories. We didn't want to go any further than that. That would force people to keep drilling in and drilling in. So we have, fairly wide categories in order to accomplish that. The resources that are available within those categories really can be a number of things. Anything that can be put into a PDF document. So those could be one sheets or newsletters or infographics or articles, any sort of PDF related content you'll find in the app. Links to websites that are helpful, links to videos that are helpful, and also services. And those services can be localized by geographic region. And I think on the next slide, we take a look at that. So what we have done is, by default, the app will show you services per that category in your region where the device currently is. However, we didn't want to restrict it to that, so you can easily change the location. So that, let's say, you are interested in, what sort of services are available where your grandchildren live, right? So you can switch to that area and get that list as well. And as Kim mentioned, all of this content, all of the features, all of the resources are available in English and Spanish. So most people are probably familiar with the pins on the map sort of approach. And that's what you would see. So we're looking at an example of the Appleton, Wisconsin region, where if I were looking for food pantries, that is an example of what I would see within the app. Let's take a look at the next screen. What we did is we integrated the map to work with the native map apps you may have on your device. So if you have an Android, you may have Google Maps, you may have Apple Maps. So if, let's say, you're interested in going to one of these locations, you can actually, from this app, open the other app and get driving directions and use that as you would any other map app. So it's integrated with the device's native capability. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next screen. Another feature that we added to the app were customized news feeds. So the news feeds can be, and behind the scenes by the National DEC folks, are curated for those specific audiences. So the news feed that you may see for professionals could be different than what you would see for families and individuals in crisis. Once again, there's a lot of overlap, but there is the ability to fine tune that behind the scenes as things evolve. All of the news feeds allow the end user on the device to choose a set of filters so they can determine how to turn on and off different keywords that are really driving that news feed. So if there's things that they're not interested in, they can take those out of their news feed. If there's things that they definitely want to see, they can include those in that news feed search results. So that all kind of happens automatically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next screen. Another section that you can actually find from the homepage of the app are the crisis helplines. So there are a number of hotlines, whether they be phone-based or text message-based hotlines that have been added into the app and make it very easy to find those. And those are also integrated with the device functionality. So if I were to, click that button, it would actually bring up the dialer on my phone and I could call that hotline. Same with if it's a text message, I could click the link and it would open up the interface to create a text message to that helpline. So it's all integrated with the phone's capabilities. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next slide. There's another section that you can find from the home screen of the app where there are really two sections that are devoted to videos. There are help and support videos, and there are the real life journey videos. So the help and support videos are some amazing videos that Big Ocean helped create with National DEC that are very inspirational, very well done. And those are embedded in the app. And then real life journeys, the intention there is to collect stories from the field right within the app. So an individual who has the app has the capability to record a video of themselves, either pre-recorded and they're going to upload it from the device, or they're actually turn on the camera and record their story right then and there. And those can get submitted behind the scenes. I believe we talk about that a little bit more on the next slide. So those videos, as they're submitted, they don't instantly go live in the app. That would be dangerous, right? So instead, they are collected and vetted by the national DEC folks, and they can choose if they want to share those videos and then have them part of that collection within the app. And I believe we actually have an example of our first real life journey story that was submitted and published within the app, available on the next slide.
So I'm going to invite Susan. Obviously, she's going to be the one talking, but Sue Reitz is actually one of our partners that you heard from earlier. And she actually uploaded a real life journey that she would like to share with you. So we are going to go ahead and listen to that. And again, Sue, thank you for being so open and doing this. You have a lot of really great professional experience, but also some personal experience as well. So thank you.
People I love snagged by addiction. It not only negatively impacted their lives, but the lives of their children, extended family, and friends. These children sometimes blame themselves for situations well beyond their control and fear that they're not worthy of love, that it's something they did that led to the violence or chaos in their lives. I'm so grateful for the police officers, child protection workers, foster parents, therapists, physicians, judicial officials, and adoption social workers who work on behalf of and with these children, as well as providing help to the parents if and when they're willing and able to accept help. It's been a blessing to watch these children blossom and grow within a stable life.
So that kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking for. We're not looking for professionalism in the video, meaning you don't have to go to a studio and record it or have a professional background. We're really just looking for honest journeys, and because we know that your stories and your journeys not only mean something to you, but they mean something to other people. So across the nation, you're going to see all sorts of people talking about what happened to them, and both in the negative and the positive. And those are the stories that we want to share with other people. So there's going to be two sets of stories, or excuse me, journeys. You're going to hear from people that are going to be grandparents, or they were drug endangered children as children, or parents or community members telling a story or their journey. But you're also going to hear from professionals as well. Professionals meaning any discipline, talking about how drug endangered children efforts impacted something that they were involved with, or how a child impacted them, what their professional journey is. And so they're very different, and they'll impact people in very different ways. But we know that those stories can be, or those journeys can be really, really impactful. So we invite all of you that are on the Zoom call today to think about maybe uploading a journey that you've had, or inviting other people to do the same. That would be really powerful takeaway from today. So there's a lot of things coming up. This app isn't complete yet. I know that Jay had talked about some of the things that we're working on, and so did Marty with the reviewers. So some of the things that are coming soon are on the slide. And coming soon may not be tomorrow, it could be several months from now, but keep an eye on things. We'll continue to update you, but we'll continue to update the app as well. So coming soon are going to be some new training tools. not only for DEC alliances, but for professionals. And these training tools can be a variety of different things. It can be a video, it can be a one-pager, it can be anything that you can think of that would be kind of a training piece for enhancing efforts across the nation to help children and families. And then the communication tools are going to be really for the DEC alliances. And this is an upcoming feature that we're really excited about. We want to make sure that our DEC alliances have a portion of this app where they can communicate with one another privately, that they can communicate with just the people within their DEC alliance. And so we're currently working on how that looks and how that's going to feel and what are the best components of that and what just makes sense to add to the communication tools for alliances. And then the local app content. And this is going to be by the DEC alliances. So the local and tribal alliances will be able to upload their own local app content for the alliance folks that are approved to be on the app as well in that portion of it. So it'll just allow them to be able to communicate and add some things that will be more localized for them. So those are just kind of some of the things that are up and coming before the end of the grant. We do have some other things in our back pocket that will be more of a surprise that we'll talk about, at our next meetings that we have. So we just encourage you to keep checking the app and utilizing it, and you'll see different things come up. And then keep an eye on some of our social media pages as well, because we'll definitely be informing you of some of the new things that are being implemented as well when they're implemented. So Scott and I are going to talk about some of the promotional and marketing pieces, because that's another point that is going to be a connection point for all of us. Scott, do you want to talk about the National DEC piece?
Sure. So it doesn't do any good to create an app if nobody knows you've got it and nobody knows it exists. So since the app launched on the app stores back in September, we've been executing our marketing and outreach plan. One of the things that our partners at Fox Valley did is they developed a QR code that we've now added to our website, all of our email signatures, the documents that we send out related to CheckDEC, and all of our social media posts. It's a really special QR code because when you put your camera up to it, it identifies what kind of device you're using. So if you're an iPhone user, it sends you to the Apple Store. If you're an Android user, it sends you to the Google Play Store. So it makes it really, really easy for folks to download. And you can share that QR code on your documents and in your emails and your e-news updates that you send to your circle of influence as well. We've also developed some marketing materials, some one-pagers that you can use. There's a CheckDEC promotional one-pager, and we've also got an FAQ, frequently asked questions about CheckDEC. Those are being made available via email directly from our staff to you, or download from our website. We're just waiting around a final approval from OVC on those documents. And we really encourage you to download those and share those and distribute them to all of your community. And we'd love to have those in your professional circles and within your DEC alliances. So you can share those with everybody in your community. We'd love to see them in hospitals, within the schools. We'd love to see them in emergency rooms. We'd love to see those anywhere that children and families are present. For those of you who follow National DEC on our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, we're going to continue to offer updates about CheckDEC and ways that you can share CheckDEC within your community via our social media posts. If you're not already connected to us on social media, please do so. We're really easy to find. If you just go to that social media outlet and type in the search National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children, you'll find us. And then you can like us and follow us on that social media post. We do have a YouTube channel, and we're posting the videos that also are related to CheckDEC on there. So just again, search National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children on YouTube, and you'll find the link to all of our videos on there as well. We have an e-news update that goes out monthly. It goes to an audience of somewhere between 12 and 15,000 folks every month, directly into their email boxes. And that also is a place where we share information and updates and those one-pagers and all the documents that you're able to share with your community to help promote and expand the outreach for CheckDEC as well. If you're not already receiving our e-news updates, please go to our website. On our homepage, there's a button you can click where you can sign up and be automatically added to our e-news updates as well. Last year, 2020, seems like a funny time to do this, but we completed a strategic planning process. And coming out of that strategic plan, we implemented a quarterly Zoom meeting where we're inviting everybody to participate, titled All Hands on Deck. This is a peer-to-peer Zoom meeting where folks who have developed the best practice that's DEC related can share that with the rest of the DEC community. And then that builds collaboration throughout the United States with all the DEC alliances in giving feedback and implementing these best practices nationwide. It's also a time where we share updates about CheckDEC and provide more information about how you can promote that within your own local community as well. We wanted to make sure that we were really broadening our outreach beyond just our DEC community as well. So we applied for the Google Ad Grant, and we were granted that grant. So every month we have a budget to spend on Google Ads, and we're posting ads promoting both CheckDEC and National DEC nationwide. Those ads display to all users, so it's nationwide and beyond technically, and we're having really great results with those. Since we rolled out and have started doing the promotion, we've had 903 app downloads. We've had 2,310 user impressions, folks that have read information about the CheckDEC app and have been asking us for more information. And the ads in the last 2 months have reached a little over 2,100 individuals who have clicked through to both the National DEC and or CheckDEC website. And when they've clicked through, they've viewed over 5,000 web pages, and we've gotten an additional 8,000 impressions from folks who have read our ads out there on the internet. So we're starting to really build that national outreach beyond just our regular DEC communities to a true national audience on there. One of the things that's also coming soon is we're working on some PSAs that you can share with your local TV and radio outlets to promote CheckDEC and DEC efforts within your local community. So that's kind of what we're doing on the national scale to promote CheckDEC and get it in people's hands. And Stacey's going to talk a little bit more about the tools themselves.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott. I'm astounded by the amount of people that have already downloaded it and the amount of hits on websites and that kind of thing. And that's the data, just it's awesome. So you guys have been a part of that, and I appreciate all that you guys are doing on your end. We need your help in promoting the app as well. Not for our purposes, but for the purposes of children and families across the nation. And so you do have a role in promoting and marketing the app and the materials as well. So we would ask that you also help utilize the marketing tools, not only yourselves, but other folks as well. If you work with other coworkers, we'd ask that you introduce them to the app and the marketing tools. And I'll show you the marketing tools that Scott was talking about here in a second. We would also ask that you send out a simple email or have a conversation with your partners professionally to say, hey, this is what we've heard about, this is what we're using, it's great. And then, like Scott said, share on your social media posts as well. You are more than welcome to share our media posts. We are currently on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and we are in the process of doing Instagram. I think we just need to hire some younger people because I don't understand that concept, but we're getting there. So take a look or keep a lookout for us on Instagram and other ones as well as we move forward. And also share the QR code. The QR code is actually a really easy way for people to download the app. We recommend putting it at the end of your email. Also, if you're doing something like a training, put it on the PowerPoint, obviously sharing information with folks so they understand what it's about and why they're downloading it and how they can use it. I think one of the most important things in order to help children and families is for the professionals on this call to share it with people you're working with. And I'm not talking about just the professionals, but with the children and families that you're working with, the extended families that you're working with, the foster families that you're working with. So they can also share it with other folks as well. The idea is that we want people to connect to information easily, and the easy way to get it out there is for you all to share it within your own communities. And I think that's going to be one of the big points and takeaways of this. So what's on the screen now are the two promotional marketing tools that Scott was talking about. The one on the left is the CheckDEC mobile app one pager. Very simple information, very basic information. And then the CheckDEC application FAQs on the right-hand side of your screen, more detail. So both very useful. You can send them out together. You can send them out separately. We can send them in different formats to you. So you can post them on social media, so you can add them to your emails or whatever you may send out. We highly recommend printing them as well and having them readily available in your car, on your clipboard, in your bag, in your office. And we would love to have you share them with folks as well, so they can also share them with other people. So if you're going to a meeting, bring some and hand them out and encourage them to take a look at the app. And if they like it, which I think they will, they can also then distribute it to other folks as well. So if you have questions on these or want these, please send an email to info@nationaldec.org. So Scott and other folks, I think it was Jay and Kim, had talked about the videos with Big Ocean Media. And I have to tell you, they're my favorite, and hopefully they'll be your favorite. We are going to show one of the videos to you now. Keep in mind that they are all on the app, and if you would like to also have a copy, they are on our YouTube channel for National DEC, and you can share those as well.
When someone is struggling with addiction, it affects everyone in their world, especially children. For kids, it feels like everything is crumbling around them. Forces they can't control begin shaking their lives, and people they love begin drifting away.
Addiction is like a cancer. It doesn't just affect the person who's using, it affects everybody around them. They're the ones picking up the pieces when things fall apart.
We know that living with or near addiction can be overwhelming, no matter how old you are. And we're here to help with resources, with training, with care and support.
There was no way out. I thought I was going to die with a needle in my arm. And then I was set free. I'm on this journey with so many other friends that are in recovery. That's our support, you know, to know that you're not alone in this and that you can do it. Like when I was in active addiction, you know, I was afraid of all those people and all the social workers, and just seeing everyone in the community come together to try to combat the epidemic, knowing that they really do care, is huge.
At the National Alliance for Drug Endangered Children, our mission is to help families find a way forward. No matter how deep the substance misuse has taken hold, there are strong pathways to recovery and caring professionals available to help.
In the drug war, the kids are oftentimes the collateral damage. They're the forgotten ones, the first impacted and the last ones helped. We want to change the trajectory of children and families' lives in communities across the United States. We want them to have an opportunity. We want them to be identified earlier. And we want professionals to look at what's best for the child as a whole, the family as a whole, and ultimately impacting the community as a whole as well.
For the children, for the caregivers, for the addicted and all those working to help them, we can help you find a way. Learn more.
So with that, we are going to thank you for attending the launch meeting for the CheckDEC app, and thank you for being a part of this work. And also thank you for all that you are doing for children and families across the nation. We know that addiction is something very powerful on a variety of levels, and you guys are doing the hard work in the communities, and we thank you for that. If we could be of any help, you can email us at info@nationaldec.org. Reach out to us. We definitely want to help in your efforts. And if we can help connect you with CheckDEC any differently, or provide you with more information, please get in touch with us. The QR code for CheckDEC is actually on your screen now. Feel free to download it, and please let us know how we can help you. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great day.